Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys today? I'm here today with another really fun video for you. We're going to make this really cute Cadbury mini eggs treat box. So I have these little Cadbury mini egg packages. Aren't they super cute? They have the milk chocolate eggs in there. And I've made this really cool box with the Easter Bunny stamp set, the layering circles, the Give It a Whirl dies, and the really awesome basic borders. So these are dies that I've spoken to you guys about many times. They're basic dies that I like to just have in my collection so that I can do lots of really cool things. And we are going to be using all three of them today. So I'm going to pull out this border die because we're going to need that to actually cut into our project today. But let's go ahead and move them out of the way, except for this one. I'll just put that to the side, and I will show you what I'm using as we go along. But for right now, I'm going to just move them out of the way, and we'll get started. I'll put the treat box in the corner there. And the first thing that we're going to need, of course, is our Simply scoreboard. Love this thing. We use it all the time, don't we? And it's pretty amazing. So if you don't have one of these, you definitely need one. We're going to start with a piece of fresh freesia cardstock. And it is 11 inches by 5 inches. So you can only get one of these out of a piece of cardstock, which I normally like to get at least 2, but I really felt that this was the size we needed to make this cute treat box. I hope that you guys like it. I'm using the Flowers and More DSP, which is a freebie with a $150 order. You can pick it with your Stampin' Rewards. So if you have questions about that, give me a message and I'll be happy to help you figure out how to get that Flowers and More paper. But we are going to score today. Let's start on the long side. So on the long side, we're going to score at 5 1/8 inch and 5 7/8 of an inch. So that's going to be our middle bottom section right here. Okay, we're going to turn to the long side and we're going to do 2 scores on the long side as well. We're going to do it at 3/4 of an inch and 4 1/4. All right, so this is what you have when you're done. You have 2 sets of score marks right here on the long side and right here on the short side. So let's go ahead and burnish those. I'm going to move this out of the way, grab my bone folder out, and we will start burnishing. So I like to run my bone folder just to make sure that I have a nice score mark and that it stays nicely in the paper. So this is a very basic box, but what makes it fun are all these great dies. They are what transform this box. It's a very simple box, but it's also a very cool box. So let's go ahead and get started. So when you're done with your burnishing, this is what you're gonna see. We're gonna trim these pieces here. And I'm gonna cut straight, then I'm gonna angle cut them. And I just want to make sure that my cuts are nice. I have to pull those little corners. All right, so this is our basic box. These 2 are going to go in. We're going to adhere this, and then this forms our basic box shape, okay? But we have to do a little cutting, and that's why these dies make everything better. And you're going to see how awesome it is. We're going to use the dies. So one mark that I forgot to show you is when we were using our Simply scoreboard. On we have the 11" across the top. We're gonna score right here at the 1" mark. So at the 1" you're gonna bring it right up to that first score line. And then at the 11" we're gonna bring it at the 10" here. And we're gonna reverse it and do the same thing again. So at the 1", just to the first score mark and the 10". And then this is gonna be our guide. I forgot to do that from the beginning, but you can do it after you've done your cuts, or at the start. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna cut these pieces away. So that's why we need that little score mark there. You don't need to burnish along it because it's just gonna get cut away. So we'll go ahead and cut there and here. And we'll do the other side as well. All right, so we're just gonna cut the sides of the box. That's what that is, at 1" down from the top. So that's all we're doing by putting those little score marks in there, just guaranteeing that we know what 1" down is, so we don't have to eyeball it. All right, so there are our marks, and I've trimmed that away. So let me show you what we have, if you wanna grab a screenshot. And now we're going to be using our basic borders edge. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna trim this right here, okay, like so. And I'm gonna cut that little scallop border right on this edge, okay? So let's go ahead and bring our big guy out, our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. We're going to use our platform number 1. We're going to use our shim number 2, our cutting plate number 3. We're going to place our piece in here. Let me make sure that you guys can see. I'm sorry, I'm moving my mat around on you. All right, but there's the die cut machine. Now you can see. So we're gonna take our die and we're gonna slide these 2 edges underneath those flaps that are gonna be on the sides of our box, okay? And we're gonna lay this piece in so that we have 2 scallops and 2 scallops on from that angle that comes down, 2 scallops of each, okay? And you're just gonna make sure that you have the same amount of gap right there and right there. We're gonna place our die cut machine. We're gonna start cranking this through. And there's our first one. And we'll do the other side as well. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna slide this back through. So when I remove the die, I now have this really cool scalloped edge right there. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So let's go ahead and put this in here. We wanna put this over the top and these, whoops, underneath like this, okay? And when we lay this down, we want to make sure that we have 2 scallops. Remember how I showed you before? 2 scallops, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we're going to go ahead, whoops, it shifted on me. Let's slide it up a little bit more. Let me lift this piece so it will slide under there. Okay, I just want to make sure that I have it even now. I had 3 on the one side, so there we go. All right, we're gonna grab our plate here. Oh my, I keep shifting it on me and I don't mean to do that. All right, there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and slide our plate down to hold it in place. And we're just gonna give it a crank through the machine. We can come back out so that you guys can see. And there is our edge. All right, let me put my border die back. Just slide it in there so I don't lose it. All right, let's glue our little holder together. Put our machine away. All right, so this is what we have now that we've die cut. So we're gonna go ahead and adhere our little box together. We gotta figure out which is gonna be our front and our back. And the way I usually do that is I just layer these forward and see which piece is the right width and size. I'm gonna go ahead and go with these, I think. Let's see. This one? Yeah. All right, so this is gonna be our back side and this is gonna be our front. So let's go ahead and adhere our DSP to the front. So I'm gonna grab my mat. That way we'll adhere that down. We'll know what the front is from the back and we won't have to worry. All right, so let's grab that. And this piece of designer series paper that we're using on the front, I wanted a 1/4 inch all the way around. So this piece is 3 inches by 3 3/4 inches. It gives us a nice frame all the way around. I've used scraps of basic white cardstock and I've cut the large wheel piece from the Give It a Whirl dies, this one right here. This is going to be my large scallop, and the reason I chose to use that die is we don't have one that big in the scallop dies, but I did use the largest of the circle dies out of another piece from the Flowers and More DSP. And this is gonna go right here. So while we have our glue out and we're ready to glue stuff together, let's go ahead and get these pieces adhered. And then we can set those aside for later. All right. So you can see, because I left a nice wide border around this piece, I wanted my scallop to have a nice wide border, which is why I used the one from Give It a Whirl. And then that's gonna go right here. But for right now, we're gonna set it to the side. Let's go ahead and glue our side. So this is our front, so it's the last piece that gets glued on. So I'm gonna go ahead and put adhesive on both of these tabs. And we're gonna glue them to the back panel first. So we'll do the back first, and then the front will slip on next. So let's go ahead and grab that one and that one, and I'll just hold it in place for a second. Get that to grab. I love this wet adhesive. It works so well for boxes. All right, so there's that. So now these pieces are gonna get covered by the front, which is why I wanted to glue that first. So we're gonna go ahead and put adhesive down the side of the 2 front flaps. We'll do one side at a time. So let's go ahead and hold that one in place. I'm gonna put my finger in there. I'm also gonna use my bone folder to press that nicely down. And then let's go ahead and put adhesive on the front flap. on the other side. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn that one over, hold it in place just for a second, press that down, and we'll use our bone folder to adhere that piece. So there is our box. Here are my Cadbury mini eggs. We can go ahead and slip those inside. All right, let's work on our bunny. So I've already stamped the bunny in Memento Tuxedo Black ink on a piece of scrap paper. We're gonna color the bunny. Here it is. We're gonna color it in light petal pink. And then we're gonna use the dark petal pink for all the highlights. So let's go ahead and color our bunny in light petal pink first. Make sure I don't get it in his eyes. I'm going to go around the eyes. All right. And I'm going to use a really light coat right down the front here. All right, let's finish the side. And then we'll do the feet. And then we're going to bring in the dark. I'm going to do the belly. And I'll do the pads of her feet. And the inner ear. So cute. All right, I'm happy with this cute little bunny. I think I missed a spot on the fur. There we go. And right here as well. All right. So let's go ahead and fussy cut out our bunny, and then we'll be ready to finish our box. Isn't this the cutest project? It's a very quick one, and it doesn't take a lot of effort. Those little Cadbury mini eggs are super fun. You could stick snack packs of M&Ms. You could stick anything flat, Skittles. You can put a variety of little candies in there if you wanted to. These bunnies are very easy to fussy cut because it's basically like a circle with a few little dips, right? So we're working our way around almost to the end. It's fairly quick. And around the foot, and we're done. All right, so there's our bunny. Let's stamp the word Happy Easter. I have a scrap of petal pink right here. So I'm going to grab my Memento Tuxedo Black. And we'll go ahead and stamp Happy Easter. I want to make sure I leave enough room on both sides so that I can do that little. Perfect. Let's go ahead and trim this side. And we're going to use our scissor to come in from the side and cut those little banner ends. Perfect. Get rid of those. And we're going to need some dimensionals. So let's flip these pieces over. Put 3 of these on our banner, and then let's put our bunny. Oops, I didn't mean to pull that one off. On the head, and then we're going to use the minis for the ears. All right. Let's grab our Take Your Pick tool. wax off of this. Gonna clean my stamp in a second. Purge these first. Let's get our little wheel, how we want our flowers to lay, how we want them to look. I think that's cute. So let's go ahead and put our Happy Easter right here. Oh my gosh, so cute. And then we'll set our bunny right here. All right, we're gonna put some on the back of this as well. So I'm gonna grab one in the center, and then we'll just work our way around our wheel here. However many we feel is the right amount. We'll stop when we're ready. All right, so let's peel these guys off. And then I've used the Pale Papaya open weave ribbon. I really love that ribbon. It's beautiful. And we're gonna tie a little bow right like that. So we're gonna go ahead and position our little scallop here. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. All right, so I have about 8 inches of ribbon, maybe 10. I just cut it off the spool, so I'm not exactly sure. Let me see if I grab a ruler. Well, give you guys a better idea. Let's see, 6, yep, 10 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my 2 bunny ear bow, how appropriate for my bunny project, right? Flip that through and pull on those tails. I want to make sure that our bow is pretty and nice and puffy, so I want to make sure that the knot lays just right. I'm happy with it. All right, pull on that. Oops. Make sure that all right, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna puff these little pieces. I like to kind of wiggle them in my fingers to puff them up. And then we're gonna go ahead and put a mini glue dot on those. So we'll grab those. Let's put one on. Actually, I'll just stick it right to the knot there. Ooh, don't want to slide those off. There we go. So it's on right there. We'll attach that to the top of our box, and then we're going to trim our tails. And I'm going to make sure that my bow is nice and puffy, because I think they're pretty when they're puffed up. So I'll just puff that up a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Put my there. All right. Let's trim our ends and grab my ribbon scissors. Trim and trim. All right, guys. Put away my mini glue dots. Got to clean my stamp. Clean up so that you guys can see these cute little boxes side by side. I'm gonna bring out the stamp set once more so you guys can see that. And we used basic borders, give it a whirl, and layering circles. I hope you enjoyed this project, and that you will come and see me again. Don't forget to check out my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com. I do blog there every day, so even when there's no videos on YouTube, you can find me there. I will see you next time for another fun Easter project, since we are going through Easter week, and this is just day 2. Thanks for being here. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!